Imagine waking up to the sight of neon flags stabbing into your private lakeshore like cheap carnival prizes, marking territory that's been yours for generations. No heads up, no knock on the door, just a sneaky invasion by the neighborhood busybodies who think their rulebook trumps your deed. But oh, how the tables turn when one hidden valve, installed by dear old dad, sends their multimillion-dollar ego project straight to the mudflats. I've always been the quiet type in Willow Creek Estates, the kind of guy who nods politely at block parties and keeps his lawn just neat enough to avoid those passive-aggressive newsletters. Folks around here whisper that I'm that reclusive engineer who inherited the old ranch with the man-made lake out back, Carter Lake. My dad called it after he dug it out with his own backhoe in the 70s. It's not some fancy resort. It's a simple, serene body of water fed by natural springs, perfect for feeding my goats and reflecting on life without the HOA's endless meddling. But in a suburb where every mailbox must match and holiday lights are regulated by committee, peace is just an illusion waiting to be shattered. That crisp autumn morning, I ambled down the trail with my coffee, expecting the usual ripple of water and chirp of birds. Instead, I nearly spilled my mug. There they were, a parade of fluorescent flags, pink, orange, screaming yellow, planted like territorial pissing contests along my shoreline. Not scattered haphazardly. Oh no. These were precisely spaced, curving in a way that screamed, surveyor's wet dream. I knelt by one, the dirt still fresh from boot prints. No labels, no official stamps. Just anonymous markers screaming, "We were here, and we don't care if it's yours." My gut twisted. The HOA had nipped at my heels before. Fines for my fence being 2 inches too tall. Emails about aesthetic harmony, because my goats dared to bleat after sunset. But this was bold. Trespass with a side of entitlement. I snapped photos from every angle, my engineer's brain already mapping the pattern. It wasn't random. It hugged the water's edge, dipping well into what my deed had etched in stone for decades. As I hiked back up, I fired up the community app, nothing but potluck invites and reminders to recycle properly. Buried in the last newsletter, though, exciting community resource assessment underway for sustainable upgrades, vague as a politician's promise, slippery as eel snot. Standing on my porch, flags winking in the breeze, I felt that slow burn. Dad's words echoed, "The real thieves don't steal outright. They pretend it was theirs to begin with." The HOA wasn't confused. They were calculating. And me? I'd play the silent observer for now, gathering ammo while they dug their own grave. By midday, I dusted off the old metal file drawer in the garage deeds, plats, water rights certs from 1975, all yellowed but ironclad. Dad had been a stickler for paperwork, engineering the lake with spillways and valves that could handle floods or droughts. I printed copies, tucked them under my arm, and headed to the HOA meeting at the community center. Usually, these were snoozefests about mulch colors, but tonight, standing room only, whispers buzzing like angry bees. I slipped into a back row, spotting her immediately, Patricia Voss, the HOA president, perched at the front like a queen on her throne. Mid-50s, bob haircut sharp as her tongue, always in those power blazers that screamed, "I chair committees for fun." Beside her, Victor Lang, slick developer type with a tan from golf courses, not hard work. The board knew I was there. Patricia's eyes flicked my way, a smile plastered on like bad wallpaper. She tapped the mic. "Let's kick off with routine items. Budget tweaks. That pesky sidewalk crack on Elm Street. Her voice dripped honeyed efficiency, the kind that masks a control freak. The room nodded along, but tension hummed. The real show was coming. And now, she beamed, clicking a remote. Our flagship initiative, Willow Creek Green Power Project. Up popped a glossy rendering. A microhydro plant floating on my lake, turbines gleaming like some eco-utopia. The crowd oohed, visions of slashed utility bills dancing in their heads. I rose slowly. Hold up. That's my lake you're photoshopping onto. Patricia's smile didn't waver. Comments after the presentation. Mr. Ellis. We're all about order here. She clicked through slides, energy savings charts, partnership badges with Lang Development. Not a whisper about ownership, permits, or the fact that their community resource was my backyard oasis. When Q&A hit, she called on cheerleaders first. Brilliant idea, Patricia. Finally putting that unused water to good use, one gushed. Think of the environment, another chimed, as if my lake had been loafing around. Finally, her sigh, yes, Tom. I stepped forward, unfurling my plat map. Care to explain why your project is slapped on private property? This deed says otherwise. No HOA claim. No shared anything. The room shifted. Patricia tilted her head. That condescending tilt. Tom, our experts reviewed the Greenbelt overlays. There's a minor boundary overlap that benefits the collective good. Overlap? I held up the water rights doc. This minor thing is federal. Dad built this lake, dredged, certified. You can't just rebrand it for your pet project. Victor leaned in, smirking. Progress requires vision, Mr. Ellis. The board voted unanimously. This upgrades everyone's quality of life. Except mine, I shot back. You're stealing land under the guise of green. Where's the permit with my signature? Patricia's palms pressed together, prayer-like. We've consulted zoning. Thank you for your passion, but let's keep it civil. This is for the greater good. Murmurs rippled, some doubtful, others buying the eco-spin. She clicked the mic off mid-sentence as I protested, adjourning with a snap. As I left, I overheard Victor, ramp up site prep tomorrow, beat the bureaucracy. They weren't debating, they were declaring war. And Patricia, her civil facade was cracking, revealing the petty tyrant beneath. Sunrise brought the roar of engines. From my porch, I watched cranes hoist frames onto barges floating on my water, like uninvited guests crashing a funeral. Workers in vests swarmed. A banner zip-tied to my fence, Willow Creek Eco Future, Phase 1. My coffee went cold as rage simmered. I stormed down. This is private land. Show permits or pack up. The foreman glanced up, bored. HOA green-lit it. Talk to them. I'm talking to you. No consent. No build. He shrugged. I follow orders, buddy. Greater good and all. By lunch, trucks dumped turbines, rebar piles blocking my trail. HOA volunteers handed flyers. Join the Green Revolution, lower bills for all. A kid thrust one at me. Cool, right? Patricia says it'll save the planet. I flipped it open. My shoreline rendered as community asset. Did she mention it's my lake? The kid blinked. She said it's shared harmony or something. I filmed it all, timestamps. Violations, then hit the sheriff's office. Sheriff Hale eyed my photos. Looks HOA heavy. Civil matter. Tom, boundary spat. They're concreting my property. He sighed. File with zoning. Get a judge's order. System slow, but fair. Zoning clerk. Emergency stop? 6 weeks backlog. Next. I left fuming the system Patricia gamed. Building fast to make teardown disruptive. Back home. More chaos. Cables anchoring barges. Cranes swinging beams. My attorney, Lena. They're rushing to entrench. Document obsessively. Will sue for trespass later. But later meant months. Their plant humming while I bled legal fees. Patricia's app post popped up. Excited progress on our sustainable gem. Ignore the naysayers. Unity wins. Comments flooded. Go Patricia. Mixed with wait. Whose land? She deleted doubters. Curating her echo chamber. Her moxie, laughable, if not infuriating. She paraded as eco-savior, but it was power play, clinging to her presidency like a life raft. I watched from afar, patient. They'd overreach. Tyrants always do. Weeks blurred into a nightmare of noise and invasion. The plant took shape, turbines installed, control hubs wired, all on my floating community asset. Patricia hosted site tours from the shore, my shore, spouting platitudes. This isn't about one person. It's about our collective footprint, she'd say, ignoring my cease and desist letters piled on her desk. Community whispers turned vicious. Tom's just bitter, holding back progress, one neighbor muttered at the grocery. Online forums, selfish holdout blocking green energy. Show a hero Patricia. I stayed silent, letting the bile build while I dug deeper. Dad's old blueprints revealed the ace. A hidden emergency valve in the spillway, federally certified for drainage in crises. Could empty the lake in hours. Designed for flood control but perfect for this emergency. One night, as cranes idled under floodlights, I slipped down to the hatch, bolted, forgotten. With a wrench, I cranked it open. Water gurgled, then roared, draining into underground channels. By dawn, the lake was a mud pit, barges tilted, plant listing like a drunk at last call. Chaos erupted. Workers yelled. Patricia arrived in her SUV. Blazer askew. What happened? She shrieked. Foreman. Lake's gone. Structures buckling. She spotted me on the ridge. You. Sabotage. I strolled down. Calm. Emergency protocol. Certified valve, check the feds. Her face twisted, outrage mixed with dawning horror. This is vandalism. You're ruining everything. Inspectors swarmed by noon. County. EPA. Zoning. Patricia cornered one. He drained it deliberately. Arrest him. The lead inspector. MS. Rivera. Ma'am. This valve's legal. Your build? No permits. False maps. Unauthorized on private land. Patricia puffed up. We acted for the community. This obstructionist. Rivera cut her. Community doesn't trump deeds. Stop work now. Residents gathered. Filming. You said it was ours, one yelled. Patricia stammered. Misunderstanding. Greater good. Laughter rippled, her facade crumbling into comical desperation. The plant groaned, turbines warping in mud. Victor's crew panicked, laptops out, realizing their assurances were lies. Drones buzzed. Feds snapped pics. Patricia's voice cracked. We had authority, Rivera. Not here. Full audit pending. For the first time, fear etched her face. Not of me, but accountability. The crowd turned. My power's out from your upgrade. Lied about permits. A teen snickered. HOA can't read a map? Relief hit me. Not glee, but shift. Truth trumped her spin. The fallout scorched like wildfire. Emergency meetings erupted. Board members bailed like rats. Greens Park distanced. Misled by HOA. Court day loomed in the county seat. Gallery packed with gawkers. Reporters. Holdout HOA loyalists. Patricia sat rigid. Lawyers flanking. Victor behind. Sweating through his suit. Lena laid docs like landmines. Your Honor, private lake seized under false pretenses. She hoisted the 1975 plat. Predates HOA clear ownership. Patricia's counsel. Ambiguities suggest shared ecosystem. Judge, show docs. Silence. Crickets. Lena pressed. Illegal build. Ignored warnings. Client activated legal valve. Projected photos. Plant afloat. Then sunk. Gasped. Witnesses sealed it. Engineer. No permits bypassed zoning. EPA. False boundaries violated feds. Greens Park rep. HOA lied about ownership. We'd never have started. Judge to Patricia. Evidence of authority? She mumbled none. Ruling swift. Lakes Mr. Ellis's. Remove structures. Pay damages. Remediate. Refer for penalties. Patricia blanched. Victor bolted. Gallery buzzed. Outside. Mike's thrust. Falsified docs? Resigning. She pushed through. Silent. Broken. 3 weeks post-verdict. Crews dismantled under watch. I observed from porch as cranes lifted warped turbines. Mud-dripping relics of hubris. Workers muttered. Embarrassed. EPA logged violations. Site cleared. Neighbors trickled by. Brownies. Apologies. Believed the hype, sorry. One. Trashed you online. Didn't know. I nodded. Wasn't you lying? Patricia resigned via email. Personal reasons. Rumors. Fleeing state. No tears shed. Lena brought settlements. Fees covered. Damages hefty. Restore what's yours. That afternoon, I reopened the valve, water gurgled back. Basin filling slow. Pure. Sheriff Hale helped fix the dock. Off duty. Land remembers respecters. We hammered in quiet. Dad'd be proud. You protected it. As water rose, peace returned. Justice whispered, not roared, rebuilding what entitlement shattered. But tell me, in a world where HOAs play God with rules, is draining your own lake sabotage, or just poetic justice? Drop your take below. Who's the real villain here?